So I come from a family of readers. Everyone in my family reads. I was blessed with the parents who really encouraged us all the time, and were really like putting books in front of us for us to read. This habit kind of went on a little bit in my family. My daughter, she is a reader, thank God, at least someone picked up the habit. My son, he would listen to Audible books, which is still a good thing. Not regularly, I still have to like remind him. I shared my library with him and I really gave him a couple of hints like which books he should start with. He listened to at least one, Atomic Habits by James Clear, which I'm sure you're familiar with. If you're not, where have you been? I'm gonna link it down below. This is a book that really you should encourage your teens to read. Okay, but enough about that. In this video, I want to go over top books that I really do encourage you to read in 2023. And I hope you're gonna take something from these books like I did. They left an impression on me, that's why I'm sharing. So let's start. Okay, so number one book is The Psychology of Money by Morgan Housel. This book left a really huge impression of me because I always thought that any kind of money books are much more a math approach, and I'm not that strong at math. Well, I'm okay, but not like extremely for me to understand the world of finance to that extent. So for me, I wanted a simple approach. I wanted an explanation, how to invest, what to do with money, how to save money. So this book really did have a very straight up, a very easy approach, very interesting language, and I really do encourage you to read it. Psychology of Money, I'm going to link it down below. Another book that really left an impression on me was A Story Worthy by Matthew Dick. I listened to it on Audible and he was the one who was narrating it. His approach and his way of explaining that whether you want it or not, whether you understand it or not, we are telling stories all through our life, and getting better at storytelling is going to make you that much more of a captivating person, that much more of an interesting person, and people are going to be that much more eager to listen to you. You will be able to give a speech at a dinner table. You will be able to talk in front of an audience. Even if this is not what you're aiming for, it's an extremely good skill to have for whatever you are going in your life. Even when you go to your therapy appointments, if you can be very concise and precise with your story, it's gonna make it that much easier for you to explain yourself. It's a fantastic book. Again, I'm gonna link it down below, Story Worthy. I really do encourage for you to read it. Another book that I really loved, and I read it last year, it's The Elephant in the Brain. I did a video on it. That book left a really big impression on me. Basically, it covers the true motives behind anything we do. It actually points out that we are narcissistic to some degree, that we are self-centered, and that we are put ourselves first. And the sooner we're gonna realize the true motives behind every decision we make, the easier it's gonna be for us to accept who we are and to accept other people for who they are. Please make sure to read it. Unconditional Parenting by Alfie Kahn. Again, I cannot stress enough, if you are a parent, if you want to be a parent, it teaches you how to truly, really love your children unconditionally. Not upon condition of them talking, walking, eating, but truly loving them just for who they are. His approach is like, I don't know, it really resonated with me because I do truly have the exact same approach when it comes to raising my children. I do believe that beyond everything else, beyond you educating your children and teaching them and being a parent, you truly need to love them unconditionally first before you can do anything else. And in this book, Alfie Kahn, he really does cover the basics of love and parental need and closeness with your children. I really truly recommend it. The Art of Impossible teaches you how you can actually achieve the impossible. You just need to look a little bit beyond your capabilities and think to yourself that everyone at some point was a beginner in any field, in any skills they acquired. So for you to actually hold back or pull back just because you think you're not gonna get to that level might stopping you from achieving a lifelong dream. So this book really taught me how you can take that extra step. You can truly push yourself that extra mile, let's put it that way. So don't hold back just because of where you are and you're thinking that you cannot achieve a particular goal. That extra step, doing that extra 10 minutes a day, half an hour a day, is gonna teach you how to actually achieve the impossible. Dale Carnegie, fantastic writer. I'm really a big fan of his work, and his book, How to Win Friends and Influence People, it's a bit of an older book. I cannot say that I agree with everything that he says, but the basics, oh my God, the basics. He teaches you how to present yourself, how to talk to people, how to make an impression, how to tell a story, how to influence people, how to, the key word is influence, not manipulate, but actually influence. I bought it as a physical book. I used the highlighter. I highlighted, I think, more than half of the book. I truly encourage you to have something like that in your house, and you can definitely recommend it to any family members. An amazing read. Dr. Janina Fisher and her book Transforming the Legacy of Trauma really did help me. This is a very personal book to me in particular. She talks about the pressure that children are feeling nowadays, and we growing up, how much pressure we felt to perform, to be good, to not dissatisfy or to not disappoint our parents, and how much trauma that created in us as adults, and how we are becoming people pleasers just because of that particular upbringing. I truly recommend for anyone or whoever is going through any kind of personal trauma. She has over 40 years of working with survivors and people who are navigating towards healing, and I truly recommend her. A very fun book that I read when I was in Croatia this past summer, The Art of Seduction. It was pretty cool, I must admit. Kind of identifies what kind of seductor you are. I would recommend it for both men and women. It really has a lot of little stories incorporated. It's a fun read, very relaxing. At the same time, it teaches you like not how to seduct people, but how to actually leave an impression on people. I would truly recommend it if you have the time and you are tired of those self-development books. Definitely give it a try. The Millionaire Fast Lane. Again, if you have teenagers, then truly recommend your teenagers to read this book. I listened to it on Audible, to be honest. It left quite an impression on me. It's about this young entrepreneur. He was on Tim Ferriss's show. I'm gonna link that episode down below. I listened to it. So he explains how easy it is to actually become a millionaire. Well, maybe not for everyone, but how easy it was for him, how he achieved it, what steps he took, how he actually came up with a service that was actually in need at that time and point where he was, in the country he was, in the city he was, how he developed that service, how he sold it later on. Generally a very good read, a very good listen, and I would truly recommend for anyone who is on the path of financial independence. That's a very good stepping stone. Okay, so I do read some of the books that my daughter recommends to me when I'm trying to take a break from all of the other books, and to be honest, teenagers are reading some pretty cool books. They are much more detached, I would say. Gory scenes don't bother them, sex scenes don't bother them. They are very much, I don't know, I was much more intimidated by reading these books when I was her age, but I'm glad they're much more open. And the book that she recommended, The Good Girl's Guide to Murder, it's a physical book. It was pretty interesting. It has a very cool plot twist. It's about some high schoolers, particularly a girl who's trying to solve a murder that happened a couple years before, and this is like a project she needs to do for school. Very interesting read, very well written, and I would truly recommend it. Okay, so this next book, it took me 2 summers to read it. I started in 2021 when I traveled to Croatia, and I left it over there with my family, and then I finished it this past summer in 2022. It's The 5 Quarters of the Orange by Jan Harris. If you are a foodie, this book is a must. It's World War II France. This family is trying to kind of survive, and they make acquaintance with the German soldiers who bring them different spices, and the main character is the mother, and she is a cook, a fantastic cook, and there's amazing description of recipes. Generally, I really enjoyed it. It's a very light but heavy at the same time book because it has a very twisted ending. But I truly recommend. I've never read anything else by Jan Harris, but I read some of the reviews. Apparently she writes some fantastic foodie books, but this was one of the ones that I read. I would recommend it for sure. An extremely amazing book that left a really big impression on me. I did a video on it. I'm gonna link it. It's Sold for Happy by Mo Gadot. I watched a couple of his interviews. Fantastic person, a father who went through a tragedy of losing his son, and how he had to pull himself up from the ground and learn how to be happy again. And in this book, he goes over an actual formula for happiness. It really helped me. He makes sense. The language is very straight up, and he is reading the actual book. I listened to it on Audible, and then I bought the physical book because I really do think that everyone should have this book at home. Please do give it a try. You will be surprised. Another book that my daughter recommended, Verity. super plot twist. It's an easy language, beautifully written. It had an unbelievable ending. I really was not expecting that. I had a totally different idea in my mind how this book is gonna end. I really truly recommend it if you want an easier read. This is the book to go. Okay, one more book and that's it. I'm gonna do for sure another video with all of the self-development books that I read last year. But this book, This Is How We Heal, my daughter bought it for me for Christmas. Apparently she thinks I need work. But no, this book has been on my to-buy list for sure. Whoever's gonna be purchasing it, whoever's gonna be reading it, it actually teaches you how to heal step by step. I just started reading it, so I'm not done. I'm gonna make sure to go over it when I finish the year and do like end of the year books that you guys should read. But if you wanna start, it's by Brianna Weiss. This Is How You Heal. And it really is a fantastic read from what I can tell from the first 20 pages. Okay, so this is it. There are much more books, of course, that I would love for you to read, but if you can start with these are fantastic. And coming from someone who is a big reader and who's been reading all her life, I hope you're gonna pick up a book or two and start your reading in 2023.